Well, greetings, everyone. Namaste. Earned security. Earned security has been something I think I've been working toward over the last 12 years. It's been a journey of different versions of myself. Earned security is simply the secure attachment style. I think some people are naturally a secure attachment style. They had an upbringing and an environment that allowed them to be secure in their attachment style. For a quick reference, attachment styles are ways of being people are in relationships. There is avoidant, with two different subtypes of avoidant: dismissive and anxious/disorganized. There is anxious, think of it like four quadrants. There's an anxious attachment style, that's another quadrant. There's a secure attachment style, and then there's, I guess you could do avoidant in two of the quadrants, a dismissive and an anxious disorganized, and those each get a square. Anxious attached is another square, and secure is another square. Four squares of attachment styles, simplified. And I started off my journey as an anxious attached person back in late 2014 when I moved out on my own. And I was anxious for a few years. And an anxious attachment style is nervous, needs constant reassurance, constantly looking for what could go wrong, hypervigilant, hyperfocused. You can be anxious attached and anxious avoidant, but we're going to talk about the anxious attached style because that's what I was first. And that's how I was. And it did not work well for me at all being that way. And so I very quickly did research and sought to understand myself. And I discovered that there's better ways I can be, essentially. And I began the journey of trying to understand why I became that way. And the answer is very simple. I became anxious attached at that time because I got hurt. I experienced a lot of pain with someone. That's really what it boils down to. All those silly twin flame videos and stuff I did many, many years ago were all the result of someone that I let myself just completely fall head over heels with and got disconnected from. But as time went on, I started to learn things. I watched YouTube videos and became not an anxious attached, but an anxious/disorganized avoidant. So I started to learn to hang back, not text back so much, provide a little mystery, etc., etc. All the things that an avoidant does, they come and go at various intervals. They value independence, and I started to become that way. But I didn't fully shed or get rid of that anxious part of me. But becoming avoidant, because most women, I think, have dealt with men that pursued them too much or overgave to them. And there's a reason that happens. The dating marketplace, we'll call it a marketplace, is highly difficult for men in the sense that for most men it's like a desert. It's a dry desert, and for women it's a swamp full of too many choices. That's something I do agree with. And the swamp for women may be full of not desirable choices, but there's still a lot of choices. And so I get why men might naturally over pursue and smother a woman, because when you have been in a desert and you finally get something to eat or drink, metaphorically speaking, it can cause you to be ravenous, so to speak. But early on in my dating journey, I didn't have a problem getting dates and meeting people. That wasn't an issue. Maintaining something and creating something lasting showed up as a common theme. And I did do that with various people. There were some lasting and good situations. But I went from Jeremy 1.0, which was anxious attached, to Jeremy 2.0, which was anxious, disorganized, avoidant. So I learned to hang back. I learned to take my time more, but I was still rooted in that anxiousness. And that anxious avoidant lasted a long time. Through last year, but through the end of last year, I started to become very aware of that avoidant side of me. I began to name it. I began to speak about it with people I was dating. I said, I think I'm avoidant, and I think I'm a disorganized avoidant, and I think it's something I can work on, because that way, if I just noticed anything was wrong, I would tell women I'm dating that I couldn't do it anymore. I was always very loving about it, but doing that was not something that sat well with me, because my doing that was rooted in fear and anxiety, and it was rooted in that, well, if I do it first, they can't hurt me, because they'll eventually see who I am and that I'm not everything that they thought I was at the beginning, because that was a pattern of my relationships with a lot of women. It was that they were very intrigued and interested in me at the beginning, and they thought I was amazing. But then when mortal Jeremy showed up, not the wizard, not the dragon, the mortal version of me showed up, then they would distance themselves and leave. And I think experiencing that numerous times is what caused me to become an avoidant. And so, but that's not how I wanted to be either. And so through last year and the beginning of this year, I had experiences with women that helped shine a light, put a magnifying glass on myself. And through journaling and a lot of self-reflection, I said, there's a Jeremy 3.0 now that is a securely attached man. And this version of me, I can tell I'm in the transition to this. And that is being able to sit with things, being able to sit with discomfort, being able to read text messages and communication and simply observe it. And I'm finding myself doing that now. I'm back out in the world. I'm back out dating, and I'm very consciously being this way. I'm sitting with things, and it's been a beautiful evolution. I'm finding myself entering a secure attached style, and I think this is the right way. It's in alignment with who I want to be as a man. A securely attached person feels fear, feels discomfort, can feel all the different emotions any human can feel, but have a strength and an ability to sit with it and not run and not smother. And so I'm experiencing that now. It's good. And it's earned security, because I was not this way from the beginning. I didn't just wake up as a human securely attached. I've had to earn it through failures and heartbreak and difficulty. And I can tell that this year is a transition in my attachment style to a securely attached style. But I had to earn it through, one, looking at my avoidant patterns and tendencies and how I would run from situations in the past, and choosing not to do that. And I did that, and I made the switch. So I'm not gonna be that way. And it was a choice, and it was very uncomfortable. And there's just was a lot of self-reflection on myself, and the willingness to sit with things. And I don't consider like myself perfect in this realm, but I think I'm there. I think I'm in the transition to it. I can tell by how I'm being as I'm back out dating and having experiences and letting myself just sit with things. It's beautiful. I'm okay sitting in just discomfort and not knowing and not reading into every little texting cadence or all the stuff that I was hyper vigilant about in the past. I've had to let some things go and just trust, and that things will unfold and what is meant for me will unfold toward me. And having trust in that process and not trying to overanalyze it, just let it happen. I think that's where I'm headed. It seems like it because I'm not acting avoidant and I'm not acting anxious. So this is good. I'm grateful for the journey and moving to this attachment style. It's been a lot of journaling, a lot of self-reflection, and a lot of work. I've caused pain by being avoidant to others, and I've experienced pain, and it's through that pain, when you're feeling deep emotions, that really creates change. It's often very difficult for us as humans to change when things are comfortable and going fine. It takes a significant event, a painful event, something that wallops us or floors us. And my journaling has been a very helpful piece of the puzzle, because I can name the things that I'm doing and what's mine to fix. And it's beautiful process. Doesn't mean I don't feel, doesn't mean I don't get scared, doesn't mean I won't share my emotions. I will absolutely share my emotions. And when I'm afraid or when I'm having a tough day. And I think this is absolutely important for men and women to do. Earned security is essentially becoming a securely attached person through growth and failures in the past and evolution. So there's Jeremy 3.0 that sits with things. And there's probably a 4.0 version of me that does it in a better way. But the important thing now is that I've learned to sit with things, and I can put that into my core way of being. And I'm finding myself being that way as I'm back out there on the horse. It's cool. I earned it. I deserve it. And I deserve someone who's also securely attached, who moves toward me. And I can feel that I'm have become the type of person who can do that. It just took 12 years is all. Kind of a long journey. Very long journey. But I can feel it as an integrated part of me. Not just know it logically, but I feel it embodied emotionally in me. Earned security. It's beautiful. And I hope you all are doing well. Do y'all know what attachment style you are? I'd be curious to know. I hope you all having a good morning. At least it's a morning here in Utah. 8:31 a.m. on April 29th, 2026 on a Wednesday morning. We'll see y'all in the next video. Namaste.